Hi everybody, it's Tina Plackinger. Thanks for joining me today. I know it's been a while, several months, but in 2 Timothy 2:4, it says, "No one engaged in warfare entangles themselves with the affairs of this life." No one engaged in warfare entangles themselves in the affairs of this life, and that's so true, because I'm in warfare here. But you knew that I would be, right? I mean, I called the neighbor I know that the neighbor, and they're not the only ones. They're just the ones that I told. That they tracked me in my home. I know that they tracked me in my home. So then this whole schlemiel came out with, the harassment and all this and that. And, I thought, okay, do I really need to take a video of the properties that are on both sides of me, to show you the heavy equipment that they've brought in, bulldozers, tractors, lawnmowers, hydraulic lifts, backhoes, things that I don't even know the names of the equipment, but they're heavy equipment. They let them run all day, or they track me in the house, and they know if I'm going to come running out there with my phone to make a video, then they stop. It's just I've revealed them. Okay, it's not like I didn't know this. I knew this, but I revealed them, and so now they are trying to squeeze me out. They're trying to squeeze me out. Okay, and so it's not pleasant at all. All right, and the thing too is that, and I'm gonna do this video without saying anything nasty about or to the neighbor. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this video without doing that. I decided one day that I was going to no longer put up with stepping out my front door, and as I am ready to call my dog, the neighbor shouts out their dog's name, okay? And the perfect timing of me stepping out on the back deck or opening the door real early in the morning when I walk the dogs, okay? And then a big crash happens outside, trying to get me traumatized, trying to, keep me housebound, I guess, and not wanting to go out. So I told the Lord, this is, because all I was doing was seeing them in the crosshairs and red lasers, okay? I mean, this really kept me at a level of, that sort of a thing. And, when you're there at that level and you are there for a really long time, okay, it affects a lot of things it affects your creativity, it affects your manifestation of good things. It affects your digestion. It affects a lot of things when you're walking around pissed off like that. Okay, it's not good. It's not healthy. And the Lord told me, well, you've got those. When you shoot guns, they have those ear things. Okay, man, and I've had them. I've had those for the last 6 years. I bought them in Chicago when I was there, because I've been dealing with this for a really long time, okay? A really long time. And the Lord told me that I needed to protect my audio gates, okay? You know how you're supposed to protect your gates of what you see and, what you hear, and that I was to definitely put those things on all the time. So there they are on a nail, okay, at the door. And now that really pissed them off, okay, because you see, they don't like it when you take care of yourself. Okay, but see, what happened was I had said to myself, man, you better back up before you act up. Okay, now, anybody out there know that that's really what they try to do? They try to get you to act up. You know, it was like 3 years ago I had thought that Badger, I forgot his name, Badger, the Badger Report, I think he goes by, you know, he was very upset. He made a video about this guy that went to, by his neighbors they were gang stalking him, and he shot and killed him. I don't know if he shot him. Did he shoot him? Maybe I'm just thinking that. But he killed him, and he ended up in prison. Okay, and you know, I just was like, oh, you know, I wasn't surprised. I think we're going to hear more about this kind of a thing, quite frankly. It's sad. It's very, very sad. All right, but these are the things that they try to provoke you, and they've got you under surveillance so heavily that the pompous asses that do this sort of thing to aggravate you, you know, there's just something missing up here too. You know, you figure, okay, you know, if you can, I mean, who can do stuff like that for 10, 12 years, all right? I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. So, anyways, where was I going with this now? Blah. So, yeah, they don't like it that I've taken care of myself. I told the Lord, He had told me, okay, you know, dig into that bag that you have, okay? Because, you know, before all this happened about 20 years ago, all right, I had a life. I had a life. I mean, I was busy. I'm a very cultured person. You know, I had a life. And this is basically what happens when you're an international figure in a tribal setting, which has always been a concern for me, and that's why I went to the sheriff and talked to him about certain things that were going on. But, you know, you guys have heard my story about the sheriff, so we'll just leave it at that. But that's basically what happens. And so I had to dig in my bag, and, you know, there's this program called Al-Anon. It's for people who, you know, love or have a family member or whatever who has an addiction. Okay. Well, you know, I started to work those first three steps. That, you know what, I'm powerless over what people do next door to me. I really am. I'm powerless what they do up the road. I'm powerless that they're all connected and they track me. And, you know, but you know what? You don't have the right anymore to track me so that you know when I'm on the road so that you can come barreling down with your truck over the line to scare my dogs or to try to scare me. You don't have that right. You don't get to holler anymore the second that I open up the door, or when I walk outside to throw the garbage, or when I step out on the back deck to fry a piece of fish, or whatever it is that I'm doing. Okay, you don't get to do that anymore. Your time is up. Okay, your time is up. You've been self-serving enough on that. And the Lord told me to protect my ear gates, which I have been doing, and it's been 2 months, and I haven't heard anything. And it's like, wow, this is really nice. This is really nice. I'm sorry that it had to get to this point, but this is what it is. So, you know, I look like a Mama Luke when I'm outside with these things on my head, but you know what? I don't hear anything. So it's like, okay, today I don't want to, you know, unravel someone. So that's quite nice, but of course that really PO'd them, and so then they, you know, stepped up their game, and you know, I've got this stuff running on both sides all day long, and boom and bang, and you know, then you know what they do now, and I was going to do a video on it, and I thought I'm not even going to waste my time. I'm busy. I'm working out, I'm cooking, I'm doing things, you know what I'm saying? I got the dog with the torn knee, and she's doing real good on collagen and on glucosamine and chondroitin and the stuff that I've got her on, and the therapy on the road every morning, and you know, she's doing good, but she still needs it. She needs the attention because it has never been surgically fixed. So, I'm busy, I don't want to make a video of this, but you know, they're standing on the rooftops next door on both houses. They're standing on guys, men, grown men with skills, okay? And they know where I am in the house because the other neighbor is talking to them. It's a whole thing. I hope that Steven Schellenberger decides to do another movie. You know, he did that movie called The Spark or Spark. Okay, it was about his gang stalking. All right, about how they do this. This is a whole thing here. I mean, this is they're all hooked up. They all know everything, where you're going, the whole schlemiel. Okay, and everything that comes out of their mouths is a lie. Okay, so you just and it's a hell of a way to live, but this is it. Now, if I can't get my lawnmower fixed this year, well, I guess the grass is going to have to grow really high, unfortunately. I've had it cut down really nice, manicured for 12 years, 11 years. Okay, if I can't get the lawnmower, fixed or working properly, well, then I guess it's going to have to grow. I have a message for you, Earthlings. Okay, Zeph had called them worldlers. Worldlers. Okay. And I think I quoted him in the book, or I at least put that in my book, Worldlers, but Earthlings. Okay, Earthlings. He had even said, he had called somebody out years ago when I heard him talking about how they were out of line. That's out of line, standing on the rooftops, okay, just to frighten an older woman or a female who lives alone. Geez, you know what I mean? You don't expect that out in the country. And now they're up on the roofs. Wow. It's a lot. It's a lot, okay? But I do have a message for you guys, okay? You don't get to make me homeless twice in one lifetime, okay? I mean, this stuff that's here, this is nothing. This is nothing, okay? You guys took everything from me that was really unique and really fantastic and just, one-of-a-kind stuff that can't be replaced. You've already stripped me of that, and, it's amazing how people look at me. People look at me. I should do a stand-up bit on this, People look at me like they're constipated around here. Okay, they got this constipated look on their face when they're looking at me. And I think to myself, man, what do they think? What have they been told about me? See, they also want to squeeze me up out of here because I have 3 years coming up on my training. Not too bad, huh? Not too bad. And the lighting really sucks in this room. But look I'm feeling good. I'm doing my thing with very minimal equipment. And I'm consistent. It's the only thing that makes any sense to me in my life right now. Okay? It's the only thing that makes sense to me. And when all this is going on and this is all crazy around me, there's a scripture. Because why? Because the Bible tells us how to live. Okay? And that's basically what I'm doing too. Not much TV. All right? Bible, prayer, no YouTube, no internet at all for months now. And, let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left. So it's all going on around me, and they're trying to squeeze me out, and I'm like, let thine eyes look right on. Let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left. It's like, okay, turn not to the right hand nor to the left. Just keep my eyes straight on what I'm doing, which is training, okay? But see, they want to take that away from me. They want to get me all riled up and, where am I going to go? And you know what? God doesn't want me packing up and moving in my mom's basement. He doesn't want me to move backwards. He doesn't want me to move backwards. There's an inheritance in store for me. I've been doing God's work, all right? And there's an inheritance in store for me. And when I'm persecuted like this is hell announcing my promotion. That's what this is, okay? And take fast hold of instruction. Let her not go. Keep her, for she is thy life. Proverbs 4, okay? And that's real important, you know, my instructions and what I'm doing and what I'm supposed to be doing and all that. And it's like, you don't get to make me homeless twice in one lifetime. You don't get to do it. I hung a picture the other day, all right? I don't have pictures on my wall. I could give a rat's hiney on material stuff, okay? Because like I said, everything was taken from me. And part of that whole game, all right, was to keep me oppressed so that I never figured stuff out, okay? I was the high quality shipment, okay? I heard gang members talking. Mine was the high quality shipment, okay? I didn't just have junk. I wasn't some dope fiend who hung out with gang members and went and got drugs and scored drugs from them and stuff. Okay, that wasn't my life. I had nice things. I had Craftsman rollaways, tool chests with Makitas in there and all kinds of, I mean, everything. I was so, I had things, nice things. And when they targeted me to steal my stuff, I fought them. Okay, and then something horrible happened. Something horrible happened one night when a friend came to borrow some money from me. Something happened between that person and somebody in the apartment complex. And it was so awful and so humiliating that they pinned it on me. They pinned it on me to take everybody's eyes off of what really happened, that nobody was taking responsibility for their own actions. And they were going to pin it on me and use me as a patsy. And that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did. So they used me as a patsy. They blamed that on me. It's an awful thing, and that's maybe why everybody looks constipated when they look at me. You know what I mean? Because it's a horrible thing. And and you know what? I didn't... I'm innocent. I'm innocent on that one, okay? But yeah, I fought these guys all the way, and I lost that battle. I lost that battle. So, but I'm determined to win the war. And so, anyways, that is what all of this is all about, to keep me so oppressed and not to figure stuff out. But you see, I've been training, and see, that's my purpose. That's my thing. Okay, that's all I've ever really known. I mean, I know I've known a lot of things in my life, but you know, I was into health and fitness. That's what I was into. Okay, internationally known. Okay, and you know, being put in tribal settings. And it's horrible. You know, these people don't have the right to have this kind of surveillance on me, all right? When I had made that video about the guy screaming next door and how people holler when I go outside, okay? One day later, it was Veterans Day. There was supposed to be no mail. And the one check that I get every 3 months for royalties on my book, Treading on Serpents, if you want to get a great book, that's a daily devotional, Treading on Serpents, okay? Yeah, they delivered it on a rainy day, on a Sunday, figuring that I would never look, but the Holy Spirit told me to go look, so then I saw it. Okay, the door is down, the thing is sticking out, and it's soaking wet. I mean, I had to take that check like a wet paper towel and, you know, just dry it out for a day, you know. But, you know, people shouldn't know that much stuff about you. Okay, and they all do around here. And you know what? This structure needs to be brought down. This structure needs to be dismantled because this is too evil. This is too evil to be existing in the earth, okay, in America, on somebody who's living somewhere. It's too evil. It needs to be brought down in Jesus' name. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against me in judgment shall be condemned. So, anyways, I just wanted to tell you that UPS is holding back on my food now, and that's a real problem. I had gotten $300 worth of a fish order, and 2 big styrofoam containers. They were $150 worth of fish in each one, and it came a day late, and most of it was thawed out, but some of it wasn't. Well, I didn't know. I've been buying meat for 16 months, so I didn't know not to eat any of the fish that wasn't thoroughly frozen. I got really sick, okay, and they had to replace that whole order. They used to use FedEx Omaha Steaks. Now they use UPS. Well, we all know about UPS. Come on, guys. UPS and me, we don't get along at all right? And they're very crafty, these guys. I mean, my dumbbells, okay? My dumbbells. How did they get these dumbbells to look like this and to fall apart? You know, about a month after I bought all these dumbbells. How did they do it? They sprayed them. They sprayed them with something that would take the coating off. Okay, now these guys are crafty.